Draft physics video. So on relativity again, time dilation, I don't know, whatever you want to call that stuff. The idea that you can't test for your speed. And I'm arguing that you can based on the constant of the speed of light. Okay, so the mindless marbles guy did post some snarky, stupid, crappy comments, but he ended up in a little bit of a conversation with this Bob Hicks guy. And it is revealed, okay, that the mindless marbles guy is saying you can't create a photon going perpendicular. That the photons always end up going forward. And that they go the speed of light forward, which means that the light gets across the ship or to the other astronaut slower than it should, but because you're time dilated, you don't see it slower. You speed it up because you're slow moving and everything else looks fast. Now it's all well and good as a statement, but it's not true that no light goes backwards or any other direction. So if we change the scenario to please him, because he won't allow me to create perpendicular light. So think of it as I was thinking of a boat. Slow it all down. You have a big Queen Mary or something, and you're launching little boats off of it. Now he's arguing that I can't launch one perpendicular, to the boat. He's saying I have to, they always end up going forward because it's the ones that I would launch forward. Say the boat's moving at 60 knots or whatever. It's the ones pointed forward that are the ones that'll keep up with me, and they'll seem like they're going perpendicular because as the boat moves, they're moving, and there's always a perpendicular. You can always see them when you look. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, there it is. Is it's moving with you. So he's not saying the little boat has the momentum of the big boat. He's saying the little boats are at least in line with the big boat, which is not the same argument as Piro's argument, which is there's an actual momentum. But anyway, so the first problem is that if that's true, then instead of going perpendicular, the light does go forward to hit the hole. It will take longer. He's not saying it's going faster to do that. So time will be wrong. Arrival time will be wrong. And the truth is, the boat you launch backward will actually be the boat that gets to the other side the quickest. And so that's really the argument. So I would argue that if you created this test of the speed of light inside a spaceship, that if you shot light in 3 directions, which you thought to be 3 directions, forward, back, and forward, back, and the middle. And even if you change those, and you say forward's really double forward, and middle is really forward, and back is really perpendicular, there we go. The truth is the light, by his argument, say this thing's moving half the speed of light, the emitter. See, he's arguing that as the emitter moves, this is the photon that looks perpendicular because it keeps moving with the emitter. But he's saying it's going actually just the speed of light. So if it's just going the speed of light, it obviously will take longer to get here, so it will not get to here in the correct amount of time. Where the one, say, released, what technically looks backwards, which is the true perpendicular, that one, as the emitter moves forward, will look like it's backwards. It will look like it's going backwards because you're moving forward. But the truth is, it will be traveling the shortest distance, and it will arrive first. So if you just have a set of lights that go off, whatever light goes, if what you think is perpendicular, if something else goes faster, if something else appears to be going faster than the speed of light, the one you've chosen, the forward one, then you know that's telling you how fast you're going. So if you're saying this is the beam of light you think is perpendicular, obviously if this one gets here first, so whatever one gets first gets to be red, and whatever one's second gets green, and whatever one's last gets blue, or whatever. You can just have a timing lights. And so the lights will tell you which one arrived at the other side first, and you'll know this would be a test of your speed, that you're traveling at a certain speed, because the one that's going to get out, this one will go through the hole in the side of the ship. This one won't, but this one's going to get to the side of the ship the fastest. So this is going to be the fastest because this one's going the shortest distance in actual fact. So I don't think he can undo that one. Whether that's applicable to Pyrrho's scenario, where they're actually arguing the light has two momentums, then they have the problem of when it escapes into space, it's going faster than the speed of light. I think Pyrrho would say that this one going forward somehow gets to this other side at the same time as the one going perpendicular. And that's obviously a paradoxical impossibility and all that mush. And if that light was released to space, it would end up being going faster than the speed of light. So that's my new thought experiment test, is that you test a range of light in more than one direction, and whichever one gets to the other side first, that's true perpendicular, and that if it's behind you, behind what was perpendicular, then you're going really fast. So it will work to test your speed. So that's I think that's explained well enough. I don't think I have to go into further detail. Mindless Marbles was a little bit more polite in his last comment before this one, so we'll cut him some slack on that. But I'm just not, you have to make arguments. If you're not going to make arguments, all you're going to do is ridicule or do some kind of playing with my words. Again, it's very nice to quote paragraphs of what I say, but I am the one that has the guts to actually make videos. You clowns don't. So I guess when you have the guts to make videos without scripts, then you might have a right to sit there and play the quote miney game. Because I'm sure I can quote mine lots of physicists talking about, I can look, people have done it to Feynman talking about magnetism. And his explanation is, in some sense, is very valid, saying how, I can't really explain something to you unless you understand what I'm going to talk about. And the idea that we know it this far and we don't know it any further. But I could sit there and I could just type virtual photon, virtual photon, virtual photon, bent nothing, bent nothing, bent nothing. I could do that all day long and just ridicule this concept that you believe in bending nothing, moves matter, and you call it space, but isn't that kind of a, I could just say nothing equals space, but not really. I could just write that all over again, right? Space, what we thought was nothing, space, is supposed to be nothing. Well, no, it's actually something, and you can actually bend it, and it forces matter to do shit. I could do that, couldn't I? And just for ridicule purposes? Virtual photon, virtual photon, virtual photon. Oh yeah, it exists while we need it to make our math work, and then we get rid of it when we don't need it anymore. We can make it, and then we can kill it. See, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's a zero sum, because, see, we create it to do stuff, and then we kill it. And therefore, it never existed. Isn't that cool? I could do that. So anyway, I really don't need you people. If you're not going to make something called a meaningful or relevant contribution, I just don't need it. And again, if you... What are you applauding? Ken videos? I'll just insult Einstein? Is that, why aren't you making comments on his videos? Oh, because he probably has you blocked. Probably. Fuckers. Anyway, till next time. He has me blocked. I never said a rude thing on it in the comments section, and he has me blocked. But anyway, so you're going to get what you deserve if you keep pushing it. That's what's going. I blocked the cowboy on I have to come up with some other way to describe the cowboy. It was just really a girl. But anyway, I mean, if you go by actual size of his clitoris, it's just not big enough. On the Amendum channel, I didn't even read the comments. All I saw was the word frivolous lawsuit, and that was enough right there. So, these people, they don't even know what they're defending. But that's the irony. You have this corrupt, horribly corrupt legal system, where principles don't matter, the law doesn't matter, precedent doesn't matter, nothing really matters. It's just these arrogant assholes. And you see some of that leaking into things like physics, and it becomes this closed industry of ideology. And these assholes don't see any threat. And what do? They harass the people who are actually challenging, that institutional bullshit. And then think of themselves as some outsider, some rogue male. Not even close. Anyway, girly men all the way down. So, till next time. Didn't need that little extra add-on, but I mean, it is all you get. The comments are just littered with crap, not arguments. So, till next time.